Today we're going to start painting the New York construction site. Hi guys, Jonathan from Two Raven Studios. Welcome. I do painting videos, miniature reviews, and general gaming content. So if that interests you, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. Today I'm just going to have a quick video for you guys. Originally I was going to paint this entire set as one whole video, but there's so many different things in it, I figured I'd break it up in a couple short things. So today we're just going to focus in on these little barrels, so let's hop right into that. The vast majority of the work on these is going to be with contrast paint through the airbrush, so we're starting out with Nasdaq yellow through the airbrush to make some yellow barrels. We're going to just give it a nice thin coat over the entire piece. Once that's complete, we're just going to focus in on certain areas and give it a second coat to give it some better definition. So you can see here as I go over the second time how I'm darkening certain areas down. That's one of the beautiful things about the contrast paint. You can use successive layers to make certain areas darker. That's just what we're doing here, just adding some quick shading, very quickly just using the contrast paints through the airbrush. So I'm just going to further darken down certain areas using Gore Gruntifer. So again, you can see very quickly, just quick short blast with the airbrush, just darkening certain areas down. I'm going to repeat this process for a couple different colors. So I'm going to do some green barrels, starting with Orc Flesh again. Thin coat, darkening down certain areas with a second coat. And then adding some further shading with some Creed camo. You can swap up any colors you want here for the contrast paints, or you could use inks and get a very similar result very quickly. We're going to do one more color, this time red barrels. We're starting out with Blood Angels Red. Again, you want a thin coat over the entire piece and darken it down in certain areas. And then using Flesh Tearers Red, we're going to just add some more shadows onto the piece. Shade it a little bit more. And then I just want to add a little bit more weathering to it. Here I'm using Medium Rust Liquid Pigment from Green Stuff World, but you could use any rust colored paint here. Just kind of adding a little bit here and there to darken down certain areas. After this, you could call it done and you'd have a perfectly acceptable piece of terrain, but you know me, I can never leave well enough alone, so I'm going to do a little bit more work on them. So depending on the color, we're just going to add some highlights. I'm using paints from Monument Hobbies here, so just green, yellow, or red depending on the color. Just adding some highlights along the banding around the edge of the barrels. Just quickly adding, not necessarily all the way around, but just certain areas, just adding some brightness. And then I'm going to mix some ivory in with whatever base color I use. Here it's the green, and just further those highlights. Again, I'm going to do this on all the different barrels, just using the appropriate color depending on the barrels. And then I decided I want them to look a little bit more weathered, so I used some oil paints. I used a mix of burnt sienna and ivory black, and just kind of went over dabbing on just to make them a little bit dirtier looking. There's thinned down with mineral spirits. And then you can take pure mineral spirits and kind of just smooth it around and make like streaks and just dirty looking areas on it. And once you complete this, they are more than good enough for terrain, and we're done. So here's just a shot of the barrels, kind of give you an idea what the finished product looked like. And we'll look at them at a 360 shot. Not going for something super detailed here. Again, it's just terrain, so we wanted a quick, easy paint job to make these look nice. hope you guys found that useful. If you did, I would appreciate a like. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the painting of the rest of this set. And until next time, keep on gaming and paint your minis.